Okay, so this is what we're looking at. And first of all, this is a probability distribution. Each of these individual probabilities is less than 1. And when you sum them up, you get the number 1. So this is a probability distribution. So if we want to get the mean and the standard deviation, there's a way to do it by hand and there's a way to do it on the calculator. So I'll show you both ways. We're going to need to make a new list, a third list here. And we're going to take our x values and we're going to multiply them by our probability values. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this list. So 0 times 0.031 is 0. And 1 times 0.156 is just 0.156. 2 times 0.313 is 0.626. And 3 times 0.313 is 0.939. 4 times 0.156 is 0.624. And 5 times 0.031 is 0.155. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is we're going to add those up, because when you take the sum of your x times p of x columns, so when you add all of those up, that will give you the mean. So put these into your calculator and add them up, and you should get 2.5. So that is your mean. Mean is 2.5. Okay, now to get the standard deviation, we're going to need to make a new column. And so this new column is going to be x squared times p of x. So basically, if I take list 1 and multiply it by the blue list, x times x of p of x, I'll get x squared. So I'm taking the first list and multiplying it by the blue list. So I'm going to get 0 times 0. I'm going to get 1 times 0.156. I'm going to have 2 times 0.625, 2 times 0.626, which is going to be 1.252. Then I'm going to have 3 times 0.939, and that's going to give me 2.817. Then I'm going to have 4 times 0.624, which is going to give me 2.496. And then lastly, I'm going to have 5 times 0.155, which is going to give me 0.775. Okay. Now I want to add these up. So if you take this list and add everything up, then that's going to give us 7.496. Okay. Now I want to get the standard deviation, and there's a formula for standard deviation. The standard deviation, one of the formulas is going to be the square root of our summation of x squared times p of x minus our mean squared. So that's going to be equal to the square root of, well, this was just 7.496 minus my mean squared, so 2.5 squared. All right, so when I put that into the calculator, I will get that sigma is equal to this. And so that is my standard deviation. So that's how you do it by hand. Now let me show you how to do this in the calculator on TI 84 plus, 83 plus. Okay, so I'm just going to need to unplug my pen so I can get my calculator up on the screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is, let's get the calculator up on the screen. And let's get it turned on. And we'll need to make two lists. One will be, the first list will be my X values. The second list will be my P of X values. So I'm going to press the Stat button, clear out two lists, list 1 and list 2. Press the Stat button, press enter. And then in list 1, I want all my X values. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then scroll over to list 2, and I'm going to have 0.031, 0.156, 0.313, 0.313 again, 0.156, and 0.031. And then I am going to double check that. Make sure I haven't made a mistake. Okay, it's looking good. All right, now I'm going to press the Stat button. I'm going to scroll over to Calc. I'm going to press Enter. And then I'm going to tell it, do one var stats with list 1, second 1, comma, second 2, with my two lists, and then press Enter. Okay, right here. So let me get the red pen. Right there is our main. Oops, I should have done that with the blue pen. Right here is our mean, 2.5. Okay, and right here is our standard deviation. Okay, that matches what we got here. Okay, so that's a really quick way to do it on your calculator. So I don't know how what your teacher required, if they wanted to see you do it by hand or if it was okay for you to do it on a calculator. So I've shown you both ways. Okay, well, thank you for letting me help you, and that's the end of the video.